So, having spent a little over 15 hours in the game so far, completed a large number of events, achievements, I figured it was sort of time to sit down and finally give my review for Forza Horizon 3. So, there's a number of positives, there's also some negatives, and then there's also one big feature that I would love to see them bring into this game that I would think make the ratings go even higher. But first, let's start off with what I like. So, for starters, you don't need me to tell you this, you can see it for yourself. The game looks and sounds great on both the PC and the Xbox. They've taken everything that made the past Horizon games fun and brought them over to Horizon 3, literally just made everything bigger and better. So there's more cars, there's more races, there's a bigger map, there's more features. So they've still got all the same features from the old games. They've got speed traps, they've got action boards, they've got bucket list challenges, but they've also included new events. They call them PR stunts, which I'm actually kind of addicted to because I find myself trying to find the best car and the best setup, trying to go out there and trying to get to the top of the leaderboards, and I'm actually in the top 1% on a few of those. So for instance, like some of the PR events are like drift zones, which I'm not a big fan of, but there's also these jumps, which I absolutely love. So you just, go up these ramps and try to see how far you can jump and actually stick the landing. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with the jumps. And then of course there's still the showdown races, which are, racing against crazy things like jets and speedboats and planes and trains. So those are all back. So I think they did exactly what they needed to do. They brought over all the features that made the last games fun, and they just added a lot more to it. So there is a ton of content here. Like I said, I've been playing over 15 hours, and according to the game, I'm only 25% done with it. And so there's a ton to do. And there's a ton to do besides just simply racing against other cars on closed tracks. And I think that's what the appeal is for me and a lot of other people who maybe wouldn't describe themselves as racing enthusiasts, because I'm certainly not. I don't get into the fine tuning and things like that. But if you are into that, that's there as well. It's not perfect though. And on PC, a lot of gamers are complaining about stuttering and frame drops, which supposedly is going to be fixed in the first patch. Now, it doesn't affect everybody, and apparently I've been one of the lucky ones, even though I've got somewhat of a similar older rig. I'm playing on a 970, so I'm not playing on the best graphic card or anything, but I really haven't ran into that many problems with the game, but apparently some people are. My biggest gripe, however, with the game is probably the marketplace, which you would say, well, you probably don't spend that much time in the marketplace, but you actually do, or at least I do. So once you buy a car, you can go download a paint job that somebody else has created, or you can go download tuning setups that people have done for you. And I actually love that because it's basically an easy button to get good car setups for people who don't like to go fine-tune everything, which I don't, or who don't know what the heck they're doing, which I don't either. So for me, I love that aspect of the game, but scrolling through the marketplace is so frustrating at times because it just takes forever, it seems like, for all the items to pop up to fully load. Sometimes you can be sitting there for several minutes and you still have to back out and restart it for it to get fully booted up. And this isn't just on PC. I saw this on both the Xbox and the PC. And this was actually a problem in past Horizon games as well, and I was hoping it was something that was going to be fixed. And I know they're pulling databases from a lot of different games, because you can go pick a car and pull tune-ups, from basically all the Horizon games. So I understand it's a lot of data, but still, it's super slow, and that's frustrating. I've also been playing a good amount of multiplayer with a couple of my buddies, and at least on the PC, it isn't very easy to join up on your friends directly from in-game. Now, I don't know if it's not working correctly or what. Now, we have figured out, an easy way to do it, but we got to use the Xbox app. But you really shouldn't have to use two apps for one game in order to join up with your friends and get to playing. But overall, the complaints pale in comparison to how much I love this game, and it's by far the best racing game I've ever played, even with its faults. And I would recommend this to anybody who's semi-interested in it. Now, I know a lot of people, even whenever I've talked about this in the past, some people will comment and say, you know, I would really love to get it, but I'm just, you know, basically intimidated by racing games and all that. But I gotta say, this is probably the most inviting racing game you'll ever play, aside from like Mario Kart, you know? So it's really inviting for easy players, but there's also enough depth here. So again, that if you're into tuning cars and all that, for enthusiasts, I think they'll enjoy it as well. So it's really a racing game, I feel, for everybody. But if there's one feature that I would love to see them add in this game that I find in other games enjoyable, that would be the cops. Like, you see vans and you see trucks, you see buses, everything else, you know, riding around on the map as far as the traffic goes, and yet there's no police around. And I think that's one of the best features about like the Need for Speed series is, you know, getting into the cop chases and things like that. So I think it would work really well in Horizon, and I don't know why it's missing. So I would love to see some Law and Order brought into Horizon. But overall, fantastic game filled with content that's going to keep you busy for a long time. And like I said, the best racing game I've ever played. So definitely worth a buy. And if you want to know how the digital version worked for me as far as the Play Anywhere features go, you can go check out my last video on the channel where I covered that aspect of it. And if you want to join my club, I do have one set up. It's called just Club Red, and maybe I'll think of a better name later. But if you want to go search for it, that's what it is. I'll leave some information down below so that you can go join that if you want to. Also, there will be a link if you want to go pick it up from Amazon. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.